Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Unlimited video. I have got a lot to catch up on. It is Set 5 preview season, big time baby. There's been a lot of cards that have been revealed over the last couple of weeks. I haven't made my first one of these videos yet because I've been pretty busy. You may have seen I was away last weekend at the PQ, which I won, which very excited about that. But yeah, there's going to be a little bit of catching up, so this is going to be a longer video, but we're going to get through all of the cards to get us into a place to really sit and evaluate. I have already begun testing this set because I now don't need to play set 4 and I'm going to Galactics, so that is my focus. So I can give you some more informed opinions than usual anyway, in the sense that I've actually tried a lot of the cards, or at least the ones that I thought were good. So let's get going. We begin with Mother Talzin. This is our first blue-black leader. So, front side, action, use the Force, give a unit -1/-1 for the phase. So my experience has been that the Force mechanic is a little clunky. It's just a little bit clunky. And so, in order for like an ability that uses the Force to be worth it, it needs to be kind of like really good. Like, it needs to be pretty good. This is not that good, but it's close. I think, like, there will be situations where you will just be able to use the Force to just eke out a little bit of extra, quote-unquote, damage to remove a unit. But honestly, a lot of the support cards are where I'm seeing better uses for the Force in this particular deck. Now, her flip side, she flips on 5 into a 3/7, Force traded, with an on attack to give something -1/-1, which means she's kind of like a 4/8 in terms of how, or she's kind of like being 4 attack in terms of how she trades. But she can also snipe out little things. I also think it is worth mentioning that this is like goes across arenas. So I'm not trying to sleep on this ability. I think I am very confident that she is probably the second best leader we have seen so far. I'm pretty confident that she is going to see play fundamentally as a 5/3/7 in blue-black with a good ability, like a really good ability on her leader side, on her flip side, and then on her leader side, it's still pretty decent. Like, I am very confident this is quite good. I sound like probably a little bit like down on this. I think it's just like the Force is a little bit clunky, and I think this like leader is not bad, but it's going to be one of those things where it's like, is this worth going to the effort of interacting with the Force mechanic? Because it's quite a drawback. And maybe actually what would make more sense to do is kind of explain the Force mechanic before we get going. So for those of you who don't know what the Force mechanic is, essentially in this new set, there are two new mechanics. So there is a mechanic called Hidden, and there is a mechanic called the Force. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly grab the Force token just so you can see that. But basically, so here you can see it here. So the Force token looks like this, and basically you can only have it. You can only have up to one at a time, and you either have it or you don't. And it's sort of it's like a token. You can put it on your base or something, but like it just sits there, and it's like a trigger check basically. Like, some things are going to require you to have the Force, some things are going to require you to spend the Force token, which means it goes away, and then you can get it back at a later date. Now, in terms of how you get the Force, we'll talk about all of these cards shortly. But in terms of how you get the Force, they haven't got the common bases here, but all of the common bases have the same effect of when you attack with a Force unit, you get the Force. Now, the other mechanic that they have in the set is called Hidden, and we'll just sort of go over to this here, so you can see this here. So the Hidden is this unit can't be attacked if it was played during this phase, and I think that's quite a powerful mechanic in isolation. I think like a lot of removal in this game is just units trading, and being able to just say no, you can't trade with this, I think is really, really powerful. So we'll need to see as to how powerful it is in practice, but it seems pretty good in theory. So that's just sort of a little bit of a walkthrough of the mechanic itself. Let me show you one of the common bases here, and then I'll show you the rare bases, and we'll talk about those, and I think that's probably useful to contextualize. Like, now we kind of have the context of the Force mechanic, it's a lot easier to evaluate a lot of these cards. So, Crystal Caves is 28 HP, they're all the same when a friendly Force unit attacks the Force with you. So this is how they all work. So you're forced to, pun not intended, you have to be playing a very heavy force unit deck. You need to be interacting with force payoffs. There need to be enough force payoffs for this to be worth it. So this is kind of, at the moment, that's what we're sort of waiting to see, right? Like, are there enough force payoffs across the full card pool for it to be worth so heavily restricting your deck building to interact with this mechanic? So that's what we're going to see. Let's talk about the rare bases. So first of all, my god, we have Vergence Temples. This is 25 HP. All of these are 25 HP. When the when the regroup phase starts, if you control a unit with 4 or more remaining HP, the force is with you. I think this is a pretty easy condition to meet. You can meet it from turn 1 moving forwards. I mean, they're printing 2 4s in this set, so you won't struggle to meet this condition. And I think with that in mind, this is pretty good. Obviously, being at 25 HP and then also being in blue, not necessarily where you want to be at. However, I do think that leaders that really want to interact with the force mechanic are going to value always having it, basically. Like, every single turn, like, they're just going into the next turn with the force. And I think that's going to be really, really valuable. Our next one is Shadowed Undercity. Oh, sorry. Oh, God, has it done them colour by colour? Okay, sorry. Mystic Monastery. So this is just action. The force is with you. And you can do this 3 times a game. This is, I think, the best if you just need to interact with the force mechanic through some particularly busted cards. However, obviously, the question you're going to have to ask is, are those cards so busted that it's worth not playing ECL or not playing Data Vault or not having 5 extra HP, right? Like, these are what we're going to be asking. Now, so far, the answer is no, but we need to see, right? Like, conceivably we could get some really busted force payoffs, but obviously only getting 3 of them per game is the bit where you're like, okay, is that worth it? And also, this is very action intensive, so I'm actually not as high on this as I was when it was first shown. I think the best so far is definitely the blue. We'll go over to the next one, which is Temple of Destruction. So this is red. When a friendly unit deals 3 or more combat damage to an enemy base, the force is with you. So, okay, you have to deal 3 damage to base. It's a bit annoying. Like, I think this is probably the worst one. Like, it's just very inconvenient. Like, a lot of the time you just have to trade, and like suddenly you're just gonna not be able to interact with your force mechanic, and you've taken a 5 HP hit for this. Like, not worth it. And then finally, our yellow base is you can exhaust a friendly unit and the force is with you. So obviously, this is also not ideal. You're having to kind of set yourself back into, like, okay, so it's not action inefficient because you're not getting to attack with the unit. So like, it's the same number of actions at least. And it's always going to be online as long as you have units to attack with. But like, if you look at the way games usually are, like, you can't, like, in order to exhaust, like, to exhaust one of your things, like, you've got to be getting some serious benefit here. And so far, we have not really seen the force payoffs be on a level that is high enough for me to really want that. So I'm pretty sure this is baked. So really, the only ones I'm considering are blue and green. And green is going to be very heavily caveated by, okay, we really need to see, like, enough super busted force payoffs that, like, I really want to do them 3 times per game, but, like, not to the point where, like, I want to just play the 28 HP base or, like, try and do some swaps around. Anyway, I think the blue is probably the best so far. Seems the easiest to just, like, have online at all times. So, yeah, there we go. Now that we have the context, we can continue talking about the leaders. And you can kind of maybe understand where I'm coming out with Talzin being a little bit awkward, because, like, actually getting the force consistently is kind of a little bit annoying. And, like, you can see the best option there would have been blue, but mono blue Talzin, maybe. Okay, Kanan. This is a action, pay 1, give a shield token to a creature or spectre unit. So obviously creature and spectre synergy is what they're driving at here. And then on the front side, he's a 3/6 shielded leader, 6 deploy. While you control another creature or spectre, he does become a 5/8. So he's absolutely huge while you have creatures and spectres. The problem is, historically, these synergy-based decks around a particular trait have kind of sucked, right? The only exception is really Rebels and Underworld with Cad Bane after, like, a whole extra set of support. So, like, but really, it's, you know, it's very limited that these, like, trait-based things have been good. Like, even the Force trait has, like, not really been relevant until this set where everyone and their mum has the trait, right? So that's a little dicey. And then on top of that, he's a 6 deploy, which already I'm like, this is probably not playable. Like, he can be a 3/6. Like, I'm very low on this. I don't think this is going to be playable. Obi-Wan. So here's my hot take. I think this is the best leader they've shown so far. Having now played with it, I actually do think it's a lot better. I think it's very limited in what you can do with it, right? So, okay, it's a action, use the Force, give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. So this is reminiscent of Rey, and we'll talk about this versus Rey in a moment. But let's look at the deploy. So it deploys on 5. Force Jedi Republic traded, really good traits. 3/6, those are the best traits it probably could have had, right? 3/6. So that's not ideal. Really wish it was 3/7, but fine. On attack, you can give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. So obviously on the flip turn, you can go experience, deploy, swing experience, right? So why do I think this is so good? Rey, this is very similar to Rey. And I think you'll be playing it in the same color combo as as Rey is right now with the blue-green. I think this is probably best as a blue deck. The thing you're getting here is that you can buff anything, right? So the unit doesn't need to be low power, right? And so Rey has this suite of units that start out at 0, 1, or 2 power, and she can just go, yep, pay 1, buff, 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 and you can do it multiple times. So Rey can build these quite big things. The downside is, it means she's playing below curve because her leader ability costs something, and she does deploy on 6. So, okay, that's a little bit awkward, right? These 6 deploys, she's one of the very few 6 deploys that is good, because it turns out giving stuff experience is just that good, right? You are just playing stuff that makes it really annoying and awkward for your opponent to trade. So, the logic basically is, if Obi-Wan can have this ability online every single turn, and then every single turn you're just sitting there going, yep, buff, 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 all my stuff becomes huge. You think about this just on vanilla stat lines, right? Turn 1, you play a 3-3 or a 2-4. Turn 2, that is now a 4-4 or a 3-5, right? Whoa, hold on a minute, that's pretty good. I play a 3-5 on turn 3, and maybe I buff the 3-5 instead on turn 2, and maybe I buff that instead. That's now a 4-6. Whoa, hold on a minute. That's pretty big. Wait a minute. Might be cooking here. Play a 4-drop 3-5. That's a 4-drop 4-6, right? You play a Ahsoka or something, or any of these really good cards if you want to go into yellow. So a Kanan in the blue color combo that becomes a 5-6. Okay, that's kind of scary. So I don't know. I'm actually quite high on this, and on top of that, right? It comes out on 5. It has Force Jedi Republic traits. You can General's Blade him. You can Jedi Lightsaber him. Okay. So, weirdly, I was actually very low on this guy on first reveal, but, now having actually, tried him out a little bit, I'm I actually think he's really good. Now, is he going to be, really good in the context of the rest of these leaders, which is not really saying that much. Is he going to be competitively viable? Do I think he's on the same tier as, Han 1, Sabine, Quinlan? No. I don't think he is, but maybe he will be once we have the full set. So, I don't know. This is one I've got my eye on for sure. Alright, next we've got Darth Maul. This is a red-black, deploys on 6 as a 5-6. Action, use the Force, deal 1 damage to one unit and 1 damage to a different unit. So, again, we've got to really think about how we're getting the Force and in what scenarios this is going to be best. And then the front side, this is on attack, deal 1 damage to a unit and 1 damage to a different unit. So, again, I imagine this is some sort of maybe as a hard control shell, this having the most potential, or obviously in some sort of ECL kind of thing. But then the problem is you have to use your Force, so it's well, how am I getting the Force? I don't know, it's just really awkward, right? I think this is the issue with these leaders that require you to interact with the Force. It's just is the payoff worth it? I don't think it is with Maul. Third Sister. So this does not interact with the Force. This is a action, play a unit from your hand, it gains Hidden. Okay. Deploys on 5, 5-4, Hidden. On attack, the next unit you play this phase gains Hidden. Okay. So, my take on this is, her stats kind of don't matter. It doesn't matter that she dies to open fire. Grow up. No one's fucking playing open fire. It matters that she dies to take down. That's really the big one. But she comes in Hidden, so she's not going to die to the most common thing, which is I will swing my 4 attack unit and kill her. So that's really big. It means that she might live just long enough for you to slap an upgrade on her, like a lightsaber, and suddenly, whoa, she's big. Obviously, the really big thing that is going to be determining how powerful this leader is how good is Hidden, right? First of all, is Hidden as a mechanic good at all, right? Let's assume it is. I think it probably is. Secondly, are there enough units in the game that don't already have Hidden, that are broken with Hidden, that we want to build a whole deck around just giving one of those things Hidden a turn? Unlikely, but possible, very possible. And then the third question is it worth doing all that, or are there enough really good Hidden units that we might as well just play the Hidden units and do something else? So these are the 3 questions we have to ask ourselves when we're considering a third sister deck. I don't think she's bad. I definitely don't think she's bad. If Hidden is a broken mechanic, Hidden third sister is going to be broken. So we'll have to see. I mean, obviously she's in red already. She's force traded, so you got Force Throw online. These are things to think about, right? So I think it's pretty good, but we'll need to see. Kit Fisto, so action, pay 1. If you attack with a Jedi, deal 2 damage to a unit. Okay, that's pretty expensive for a daring raid. Deploys on 5 as a 1/6 with Saboteur, and it gains +1 for each other friendly Jedi unit. So you need 2 other units for this to come out as a 3/6. It's bad. Let's move on. Okay, this is the leader I'm probably the most excited for, but I think is probably not going to be that good. But I do think it's cool. So Qui-Gon is a 6 deploy. Action, use the Force, so we have to be very involved with the Force synergies. Return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-black unit that costs less than the returned unit from your hand free. So this is very cool, right? You're going to just looping on plays, doing broken shit, like just getting back that stuff to use it again, healing off the damage, right? Like there's a lot of very, very powerful stuff you can do here. On the flip, you now no longer have to use the Force, but you do need to attack and survive. And he flips as a 4/7. So I would have, again, liked to see 4/8 here, just a little bit more in the stats. This is a 6-drop that could see play, though. This is a, in theory, broken enough ability, right? Like, you can imagine the scenarios, right? Okay, where you play, like, Luke Skywalker, for example. Let's say you're in blue. You play Luke Skywalker, you bounce it back, and then you play out, like, Plo Koon. Just a simple thing, that's pretty good. Or, like, you can do this for all the other colors, right? And you can, like, you play home 1, and then you bounce back the home 1, and then you play out, like, I don't know, Amphiest, Han Solo, right? Like, these are things that you absolutely can do, and these are really, really powerful. So I think I'm going to be looking at this, like, for sure. I'm going to be playing with this. I'm going to be testing it. My inclination is, like, this kind of combo thing is probably not going to be good, because combo has never been good in Star Wars, but it might be. And I really would like to be wrong. Okay, and then we have our first mono black leader. So very limited card pool. What are we getting for this? Okay, well, we have a 5 deploy leader who deploys as a 3/6. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. I've already said I think experience is really powerful, but I mean, okay, let's continue. And then as restore 1, when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. So this is not once per turn. So obviously on deploy, this is really powerful. And on the front side, it's still pretty good, right? Like, I think these are good abilities. Like, and if this was a 2-color leader, I would have gone, oh, this is really good. Like, yes, we will be experimenting with Revan constantly. Like, this is going to be a really strong leader. With only black? I'm like, I think they might have just made this, like, unplayable. Like, I don't know. It's not unplayable. It's just, like, I mean, we're going to, like, the point at which, like, we just don't have the card pool to support this. I just don't think. Like, I mean, considering what this deck is trying to do, I mean, like, if you're trying to build, like, a lot of the best cards as well that they've kind of talked about, like, for example, Darth Tyrannus, which we'll come to, like, needs you to interact with the Force mechanic, and it's like, okay, so I can't even use the best bases. Like, if I have to interact with the Force mechanic, then I'm even more restricted in my deck building. So, I don't know. I'm just like, this feels like it's going to be so heavily dependent on just having a critical mass of really broken cards that it just gets in, like, basically mono black, so it can just have a core shell of really broken cards, and then you can supplement that with broken cards in another color, and, like, okay, maybe that ends up being playable. And I think that's very much possible. Like, I've got an eye on Revan for sure, for no other reason than he's just a very cool character. But yeah, I definitely think this is a very interesting decision to make this mono black, and I don't think he should have been. I don't think he's good enough to justify, like, that kind of drawback. But there we go. So those are the leaders. Been yapping for a little while now, so let's go ahead and get into the actual cards, and this will be a bit faster. So we start off with a 2/4 with a when defeated to give something -2/-2. Really, you're just playing this because it's a 2/4. It's a sticky body. I think this is good. I think this probably will see play, and it can trade into, like, a 4/4, for example, right? Like, so it trades like a 4/4, so that's pretty good. Tal's Assassin, this is very strong. This is a 4-drop 4/4. When played, gives something -3/-3. So this is like a Luke effect. This is the tier of Force payoff that I need to see for me to want to interact with the Force mechanic. And there's not that many of them so far. This is one of them. This is very, very powerful. And, like, this will be a staple in anything that's interacting with the Force. But like, if you're not interacting with the Force, then I'm like, how good is it? Here's another really good card. Old Daka, 5.66. When played, you may defeat a friendly knight unit not named Old Daka. Then you may play that unit from your discard pile for free. So you trigger the when defeated on that unit, and you trigger the on play, and you basically heal it up. Obviously, this is a really good card. The downside is going to be, like, it's restricted to knights. So, like always, how good is the knight trait? Needs to be seen, but obviously this is going to be one of those cards that, like, yeah, this will be pretty damn good if we have a critical mass of really good knight units. Ponkrell, this is a 7-drop 2/9 grit. When this unit completes an attack and survives, you may defeat a unit with less remaining HP than this unit's power. If this had ambush, I would be so high on this card, but it's just a 7-drop that comes in and does nothing for a turn. So, like, I just see no universe where, like, this is gonna be a meta impactful card. However, I think this is going to be a pretty scary thing in, like, Draft and Sealed. Darth Sidious, 8-drop 6/8, so pretty beefy stats, but I don't know, a little pretty below rate. Force Separatist and Sith traded, so I will say you can cheat this out in Dooku for 6, and at that point this becomes a very interesting card. Restore 2, when played you may use the Force. If you do, defeat each non-Sith unit with 3 or less remaining HP. So I think basically if this is going to be viable, it'll be in Dooku, like, because I mean, first of all, you have to interact with the Force mechanic, so already we're like, okay, and then on top of that, like, yeah, this is going to need, like, 3 or less HP. Is that good? I don't know. I'm a little doubtful. Maybe this will be playable. I don't know. I'm pretty low on this, but it could be good, but probably not. Drain Essence. This will be good in Night Sisters. This is deal 2 damage to a unit that forces with you. So this just removes almost every turn 1 play. Here's the thing now. We're in the world of 2/4s, so maybe it now doesn't, right? Like, this is the thing we're going to have to see. But this is, like, good where you have something to do with the Force immediately. It's like removal based or something, right? Yaddle. This card is crazy. 2-drop 2/4. Force Jedi Republic. Restore 1. On attack, each other friendly Jedi gains restore 1. Holy shit. First of all, Rey is playing 3 copies of this card immediately. This card is so insane in Rey, right? You make this basically a 3/3/5 with these effects. Holy shit. You can slap a lightsaber on him. Yeah, this card is crazy. I expect to see this everywhere in Blue Hero. Ezra Bridger, again, another card I expect to see everywhere in Blue Hero. This is a 3-drop 3/5 Force Jedi Rebel Spectre traded. Holy shit. What a suite of traits. On attack, you give an experience token to another creature or Spectre. That's going to come up rarely in, like, I think, good decks. I mean, yeah, you play this in Kanan or, like, Hera, sure. But, like, really, this is just a 3/3/5. Like, it's going to see play for that and no other reason. Okay. 5-drop 4/8. 1 Ascendant gains. +2/+0. Worth saying, I guess, that this does dodge takedown and this does dodge Fell the Dragon, but, like, I mean, it's just doing nothing as a 5, so no. And again, Plo Koon here, 6-drop 6/8. While the Force is with you, it gains grit. That is scary, but, like, on a 6-drop without ambush or something, yeah. Next we've got Doom. This is a 4-drop double blue, 2/7, Force and creature traded, so Kanan card. When the regroup phase starts, give an experience token to each other friendly non-vehicle unit. So this could get out of hand really quickly, right? Because this is going to be live the turn you play it. So if turn 1 and turn 2, you manage to stick your units, turn 3 you just slam Doom claim, or whatever, like you slam Doom, and then everything gets an experience token, this could get out of hand really, really quickly. Now, how good is that likely to be? I don't think it's going to be good, probably, but Mono Blue has a lot of really good cards, and, like, this is another just really solid card in Mono Blue that, like, yeah, I think this has potential, and obviously, like, it's Force traded, it's creature traded, like, yeah, that's good. Okay, next we've got another Rey card. Owen Lars. This is a 1-drop 0/3 Fringe traded with Restore 2. When defeated, it's top 5 cards you deck for a Force unit, reveal it, and draw it. So this is basically you're replacing Moisture Farmer in Rey. Only Rey will play this card. Yeah. Nice Sister Warrior. This is a 2-drop 2/2 with a when defeated to draw a card. Thrawn might play this to just draw 2 early game. But otherwise it's Force and Knight traded, which is obviously nice. But yeah, nothing crazy. It's pretty bad stats. They could have made it a 2/3. Okay, next we've got a really interesting card, Ogdo Bogdo. This is a 3-drop 5/5 creature. This unit can't attack unless it's damaged. When this unit attacks and defeats a unit, heal 2 damage from this unit. So this is very interesting, right? Because I'm thinking of decks like Kira and Han 2 can very, very easily turn on this effect, right? So in Han 2, this is a turn 1 5/3 you can play. That's interesting. That's very, very powerful. In Kira, you can play this on turn 2, shield it up, and now it's a 5/3 that's going to bonk something and, like, not die, basically, right? Like, it's going to now. The annoying thing is it's going to heal itself up, but then you just put the shield on it again, right? So, I don't know. I think this is a very interesting card. In some decks, like, will just immediately slam this into. But obviously, like most decks, like, if you can't immediately turn this on, this is probably not going to be worth it. Another Ray card here, 3-drop 1/6 fringe traded. On attack, your opponent chooses 1. You give an experience token to a friendly unit, or you draw a card. So this is just good. I mean, obviously in Ray, where you can make this a 3/8, like that's going to be really sticky and annoying for your opponent to deal with. I mean, obviously, like we're getting a lot of these like kind of random non-searchable cards. How good is this going to be as like a 3-drop on attack? Like there's a lot of competition in the 3-drop space, so we'll need to see how good this ends up being. But my feeling is this probably will be quite good. So we will see. Next, we've got Turret Imwe. This is a 4-drop 3/5 Sentinel. When this unit is attacked, before damage is dealt, you may use the Force to give the attacker -2/-0. I don't think this is really doing enough. If this like said you take no damage, I'd be like, oh, okay, this is very interesting. But yeah, I don't think this is not the tier of Force payoff we need. Luthen Rail. 4-drop 4/5 Rebel. Unfortunately, the stats are the wrong way around. On attack, search top 5 for an item, reveal it, and draw it. I just think if this was a 5/4, it might see play, but I think it's very unlikely to see play. Interesting card here. Anakin Skywalker, Champion of Mortis, is our legendary. Mono blue. 6-drop 5/7. When played, give something -3/-3 if you have a white, and then it does it again if you have a black. So basically, this is a Chancellor Palpatine card. This is like a better version of Luke in Chancellor Palpatine that you can play a turn earlier, regardless of which side you're on, right? So Chancellor Palpatine is going to absolutely adore this card. But everything else is just like, it's good, but like if it was 5, it would be better. A 5-drop 5/7 with this effect would have been very, very powerful. This is like probably too expensive. So like Palpatine's going to jam 3 into it, but I don't think anything else is really going to play it. Next, we've got Cure Wounds. This is a 1-drop. Use the Force if you do heal 6 damage from a unit. Probably not going to see play. Soresu stance. Play a Force unit from your hand and give a shield token to it. This could be interesting if you can combo this with something that has ambush. But like, I don't know, maybe this will be good. Basically, if your deck is already like playing like a shitload of Force units, like being able to just immediately bring something in with the shield token, like could be worth the action cheating. My feeling is it probably won't be, but it could be. Okay, on to green. We have Sith Legionnaire. This is a 2/2 Sith Trooper. While you control another black unit, this gains +2/+0. I think the problem with this card is its stats are pretty bad. Captain Enoch. This is a 3-drop 1/5. It gains +1/+0 for each trooper in your discard pile. This could be very, very interesting. I'm thinking, obviously, Kylo, right, as a way to like get troopers into this card ASAP. The problem is you need 2 troopers for this to be like an on-rate card. And then like every trooper beyond that is then like this then gets very, very interesting. I mean, I think there's potential here. Like I'll definitely want to try it out for sure. Okay, here's our first truly broken Force payoff. 2-drop 1/4 action. Use the Force. Play a unit from your hand. It costs 2 less. This is broken. It's completely broken. The difficulty is going to be, right, like how consistently can you just have this guy be online? This is a card that is good enough that it would be worth interacting with the Force mechanic. And these are I think, in my opinion, this is the tier of card we need. Like this and like the Night Sister, like these are the level we need. This card is absolutely incredible. Any deck that like can play this will be, I think. Obi-Wan, 3/5. The Gain Sentinel, like, yeah, baby, we are playing this card in everything. Eve Koth, our second one of these cards that is good enough, right? In green, like this is the third really powerful green-white card. 4-drop green-white, 5/4, Force Jedi Republic traded. When defeated, you may use the Force. If you do, put this card into play as a resource. It's super laser tech, except it's a 5/4, so it can make some really meaningful trades. Yeah, it's just a really, really powerful card. This is going to see a lot of play. Paladin Training Corvette. It's a 3/5 that comes in and gives experience tokens up to 3 Force units. This is probably bad. Kenner Beck. This is an interesting card. So this is a 7-drop 7/7. Force Jedi Republic. When played, search the top 7 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and play it. It costs 3 less. So my feeling is this is probably bad, but in those matchups where the game goes stupid long, right? You're at like 13, 14, 15, 16 resources. You could like play Caloran, search the top 7, find a home 1, play that for 5, and then play out like, I don't know, something else from your drop. Like, you have the potential to just go stupid wide off this one card in like one action and just gain like an insane amount of value. But realistically, this is probably bad. Luminous Beings, this is way too expensive. 6 cost, put up to 3 force units from this card pile on the bottom of the deck and give that many units +4/+4 for this phase. This is a bad card. It's really bad. Village Tender, this is a 1-drop 1/3 with Hidden and Restore 1. This will see play in Ray. I think you can immediately turn 1 and make this a 2/4. That's Hidden and it has Restore. And then the next turn you can make it a 3/5. Pretty annoying. I am a fan. Malakili, this is a 2-drop 1/4. The first creature you play each phase costs 1 less. That's a powerful effect, let's not discount it. If a friendly creature unit would deal damage to a friendly unit, prevent that damage. So, I mean, this is interesting, right? It's obviously very interesting. It's Underworld rated as well, for what it's worth. I think this is probably bad, mainly because Creature Matters is probably bad. But if Creature Matters is good, this is going to be an absolute staple. Maskanata, 3-drop green Underworld 3/4. When played, you can attack with a force unit against +2/+0 for this attack. This is going to be a staple 3 of in every deck that is interacting with the force trait. This is very, very good. Sifo Dias. This is a 5-drop 4/4. When defeated, says top 8 cards of your deck for any number of clone units with a combined cost of 4 or less and discard them. If for this phase, you may play those cards from a discard pile for free. Obviously, this is a good value card, but like turning this on is just no. Next, we've got Terran Tatek. This is a 5-drop 5/5. If your opponent has a force unit against ambush, directed by the Force. 1, the Force is with you, and you may play a unit from your hand paying its cost. If this was 0, I would like this card. 1? Niman Strike. Attack with a force unit, even if it's exhausted, against +1/+0 and can't attack bases for this attack. This could be very, very interesting, right? It's dogfight on the ground. I think it's probably bad, but it could be good, but it's probably not. Acolyte of the Beyond. We've got a 2-drop 2/3 red-black. On attack and when defeated, the force is with you. So this is obviously like good for gaining the force immediately, because this is likely to die turn 1. So if you care about the force in your Sith-based deck, then this is going to be good. HK47, this is a 2-drop 2/4. This is sticky, and when an enemy unit is defeated, you also get to just ping a damage to the base, but really, you're just playing this because it's sticky, and it's Sith-traded. Strike Ship, this is a 2-drop 0/3, raid 3, and Overwhelm. This is a GI card, but I think we've established that GI is probably not going to be doing anything great. Scythe, this is a 4-drop 3/5, Imperial, Vehicle, Transport, Inquisitor. On attack, you may give another friendly Inquisitor unit +2/+0 for the phase. If Inquisitors are good, then this will be good. Well, it'll be okay. It's probably still not good if Inquisitors are good. Thralls of the Coven. This is a 5-drop 3/7 with Raid 3. Worth saying, this is a great GI card. But, like, probably not actually worth playing. Savage Press. I'm not even going to waste your time on this card. It's absolutely terrible. Sith Holocron, 1-drop, +1/+1 upgrade, attached to a force unit. Attached unit gains on attack, you may deal 2 damage to a friendly unit. If you do, this unit gains +2/+0 for an attack. For this attack, this is so bad, so bad. Darth Maul's Lightsaber, this is very good. This is a 3-drop +4/+2 upgrade, attached to a friendly non-vehicle, and when played, if the attached unit is Darth Maul, you can attack with him, and for the attack, he gains Overwhelm and can't attack bases. If they ever gave Darth Maul a good leader, this would be really good. Deathfield, 4-drop, deal 2 damage to each friendly non-vehicle unit, and if you control a force unit, draw a card. I think there is potential to this in like just a cleaning up the board sort of way. And obviously like in Maul, this is actually quite good because you deal 2 to everything, and then you also get to deal 1 more to other stuff. So like you can probably just clean up the whole board. But like, you know. 2/4, Sticky in Hero. We like this in Red Hero. When an opponent plays an event, deal 1 damage to that player's base. This is good. It's very, very good. Attuned Fernok. This is Hidden 4/1. I mean, Hidden will be good if we have 0 pinging decks. But if we have pinging decks, then this is going to be pretty bad. Jedi Knight. This is a great Quinlan card. 3-drop 3/3. When played, if you have the initiative, deal 2 damage to an enemy ground unit. So in Quinlan, you can like just deal 3 to a 3-drop, or deal 1 to the 3-drop and then 2 to the ground unit and just clean it up. Yeah, I think this is very, very good in Quinlan. Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite, 5-drop 4/5, Saboteur. When played, you may defeat any number of upgrades on a unit. So just more ways for piloting to just never matter. Witch of the Mist, 1-drop 1/3 hidden. This is terrible. Infused Brawler, 2-drop 2/2. When played, use the Force to make this a 4/4. A 2-drop 4/4 is very good. When this unit completes an attack, defeat an experience token on it. This could see play, but you need to have the Force immediately, and there is no way for us to have the Force immediately, so this won't see play, is my thinking. Merrin, this is a 3-drop 2/5. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, deal 2 damage to a unit. I don't really understand the discard payoff, because it seems to have nothing to do with Talzin. It's just, okay, cool. It's fine. I mean, this trades like a 4/5, right? So that's pretty good for 3. Tukata, 3-drop 4/2 hidden, similar to previously. Ataru Onslaught, 2-drop, ready a Force unit with 4 or less power. I think this is very good. This is very interesting, right? Now, obviously, you need to be playing a lot of Force units, and that's really going to be what it comes down to. But if you are, this is very, very compelling. As I have foreseen, this is a broken card, which... Okay, so you cheat something out from the top of your deck, and you need to use the Force, and you reduce the cost by 3. So, obviously, from what we're seeing so far, the Force is going to be really annoying to... Like, this is broken, right? So, like, okay, this is worth using the Force, but, like, okay, you have to be in a Force, like, build-around deck. On top of that, you're getting something random unless you can stack it. There are no real ways to stack cards at the moment, but obviously if you can, like, this can get out of hand really quickly, right? Like, on 3 resources... on 4 resources, you're playing out like Luke Skywalker's or like Cad Bane's or whatever, right? Like, so you're doing stupid stuff. But obviously, like, that's not consistent until we can stack. And there's no way to do that at the moment, and we have to interact with the Force. So, like, there's just a lot that needs to happen for this to be good. But, like, obviously, when it's good, it's completely broken. Liberated by Darkness. This is Change of Heart, except you have to use your Force token, and it costs 1 less. If I'm already interacting with the Force, then I'll play this probably. But, like, if I'm not, I'll just play Change of Heart. Oh, yeah. Anakin Skywalker, 1-drop, 1/1, hidden, shielded. This is a great card. I think this will see play in yellow hero decks, like, for sure. Just as, like, a unit that's kind of sticky and it's just going to, like, stay on the board. Like, I think this is good. Young Padawan, this is a 2-drop 2/3, but it does give you the Force. So, basically, I think this will be, like, in your Force-centric decks where you're really struggling to find your final 2-drop. This will see play. This is meant for Qui-Gon. It's pretty terrible, so I'm not going to waste time on it. This is a 5/4 while the Force is with you against Sentinel. It's fine. Qui-Gon's Aether Sprite on attack. The next when played happens again on a 3/6. Obviously, if you can get this off, this is completely busted. But, like, I think you're never really going to get this off. Stinger Mantis is a 5/4/6 with when played to deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. The stats are good enough that this might see play, but I think it probably won't. Depa Belaba, this is a good card. 6-drop 5/7 Ambush Saboteur. So this is very, very good, because obviously this, in Qui-Gon, play this out, bounce it back, play out a Plo Koon, what a combo. So if you can make that happen, this is going to be really, really solid. But otherwise, I think this is not going to see much play really outside of Qui-Gon. This is a broken card. Staple, 7-drop 7/5 Ambush. When defeated, you may choose a non-leader ground unit and top deck it, basically. Holy fucking shit. This is 2-for-1. It's a 7/5. It has Ambush. Oh my god. This nukes, like, so much stuff. This is completely insane. Like, staple. Qui-Gon Jinn's Lightsaber. 2-drop +3/+1. When played, if the attached unit is Qui-Gon, you may exhaust any number of units with a combined cost of 6 or less. I think the situation you'll play this is, like, you deploy Qui-Gon, and then you claim initiative going into the next round. You first action slam this and just tap their board down. But, like, nah, it's... I just think it's going quite late. Obviously, you can play this turn, you deploy Qui-Gon, and you make him a 7/8, which is really good. But, like, it's not as good as some of the other lightsabers, I think. This card sucks, so I'm not going to waste time on it. This is, you may either exhaust a friendly unit or use the Force. If you do either, exhaust an enemy unit. And draw a card. This could be really good. Just for one, to just exhaust something, and then you also replace the card. Or the thing is, right, you don't need to have the force for this, right? You can just tap one of your own things. And if that thing was going to die anyway, then you kind of just like delay it, replace this card, and like go, okay, well, it's here for another turn. Like, I'm maintaining the board presence. This is force trade 2 for what it's worth. I think this is actually potentially quite good. We'll need to experiment with it. Sheehan Flurry. Play a force unit from your hand. It gains ambush. The next time it would be dealt damage this phase. Prevent 2 of that damage. Okay, okay. For some reason, we thought yellow needed timely, but better, but without smuggle. I am very interested to see how good this card is, but I think it's got a lot of potential. The Will of the Force is another really interesting one. This is Waylay, except if you spend your Force token, the opponent discards a random card, and it costs 4. This is Cunning, right? Like, this is 2 modes of Cunning. This is Bounce Anything, which is better than Cunning's Bounce, and discard. So you don't have so it's the worst, quote unquote, 2 modes of Cunning. For like, it's probably the worst 2. Although a better version of the worst. But like, I mean, it's Cunning, right? Like, yeah, we play this. We absolutely play this. Surely, right? Like, surely we play this. If we don't, I'll be quite surprised. But I really do think we just play this. Obviously in a Force Synergy deck. Okay, we got some black cards here. We got a 1-drop 1/1 hidden raid 1. Probably bad. Kylo Ren. This is Force and First Order traded. 2-drop 2/3. Overwhelm. When you play an upgrade on this unit, you may use the Force if you do draw a card. Not a good Force payoff. This will see play in like Phasma, and that's it. This is a powerful card. Darth Tyrannus. 4-drop 4/3 shielded. While the Force is with you, this gains ambush, so you don't need to spend it. That's really good. Obviously, a 4/3 that just is, there's just 4 damage you just get to instantly do, is really, really solid. I wish this was a 5/3 though, because like it doesn't trade with the 3/5s your opponents are playing right now, and it's like, eh. But this is still incredibly good. This is one of the best 4-drops in the game. It's just like, at the moment, the kind of meta is just to be playing 3/5s on 4, and it's like, okay, fine, so I'm going to trade into your turn 3 play, and then next turn I'll like deal with that. Like, it's fine, it's fine. Obviously in Revan this is very, very good, right? Because you then make this a 5/4, and you can maybe maintain the shield depending on how you deal the damage. Like, yeah, this can be really, really good. Scimitar. This is a 4-drop 3/4. That's bad. Darth Malak. 5-drop 4/7. Overwhelm. When played, if you control a Sith Leader unit, you may ready this unit. So you have to have basically deployed that unit. This is very, very scary. If you can like get some, like, obviously, like if you ECL this in, like you ECL this in, make it a 5/8. It readies, smack something else. It's a 6/9. Like, it can just get out of control. But I think it's pretty unlikely to be that broken. But I think it's good. I mean, like it's so restricted, right? Like you're gonna play this in every leader that can. It's just so efficient. But like, yeah, it's just really solid. Darth Revan's lightsabers. I think this might be one of the... Okay. 2-drop 2/2. Attach your friendly non-vehicle unit, and if the attached unit is Sith, it gains grit. I think this is quite good on those Sith units, but like, you know, the issue with all lightsabers is just like that specifically, like, it's 2/2. It's fine. Like, it's fine. I think this could be quite good, but like only in Sith decks. And Refugee of the Path. 1-drop 0/3. When played, you may give a shield unit to shield token to a unit with Sentinel. This is bad. Grogu. 3-drop 1/6 hidden action, heal up to 2 damage from a unit if you deal that much damage to a unit. I think this will see play in like Han 2, but like outside of that, not really. Luke Skywalker, a hero's beginning. 4-drop 3/5. When you play another unique unit, you may use the Force. If you do, give an experience token and a shield token to this unit. So this can get out of control really, really quickly. Obviously, it is very, very slow. So it's just going to be a matter of like how consistently does this guy survive. He's pretty sticky, so I think there's good odds. And finally, we have Porg as a 0/1/1. It's 0 cost, it's a creature, it might be good. And actually, finally, nope, there's still one more. Curious Flock, this is a 1/1/1 that can also be a 7/7/7. Honestly, I think this is probably quite good just because it's always fine. And like, that's quite valuable. Like, I will unironically be playing this card in draft like a lot. And finally, Constructed Lightsaber. 3-drop, attached to a Force unit, +2/+3. If the attacked unit is white, it gains Restore 2. If it's black, it gains Raid 2. And if it's neither, it gains Sentinel. I think this is very versatile, and so it might see play based on that. But I think this is a super cool card to finish on. So there we go. We're all caught up. Oh my god, my throat hurts. Let's go ahead and that's it. we're done. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Stay tuned. Now, the weekly ones will be significantly shorter than this as we sort of ramp up to Worlds. I'm hoping that we have the full set list like a solid month out so we can do some proper testing. Stay tuned to the channel for my thoughts, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.